Alright, here we are. It's time to evaluate some welds, and we have some lap welds here today. This is after week 5 of welding, and so these are beginning welders, and I'm trying to keep that all in mind as we're evaluating these welds. A couple of things I'm looking for is real consistent welds, welds that have the correct angle, gun angle, arc angle, and placement of where the weld is on the piece. Also looking for evidence that the welds are clamped or tack welded prior to start. I'm looking for that they had the right heat and the right penetration of the weld. So those are some things that we're looking for on these welds. These are 3 that I thought turned out really good. Overall, these are the top 3 for this project. And I'm going to kind of compare some of the other ones and tell you some of the things that I thought went well and didn't look well. So if you look at this one, you can see it's just really consistent. There is a little bump out here, but it's fairly flat. It's wedged into the lap pretty well. This one here is another one, not too bad, especially right in here. That's probably my favorite part of this one. Get on to this one. It looks like it's just a little built up. It's a little bit further in. So not quite as nice, but still pretty consistent weld and pretty good for a week 5 welder. So I'm going to set this one right here off in the corner, and then we'll kind of compare it to some of the other ones as we go through. So I really thought this weld was pretty good, very consistent weld. And the biggest problem with this one is it was just a little too high on the piece of metal. So a little bit too high on the piece of metal, but otherwise pretty good weld. This was another one, just it ran off the weld, pretty decent in here. It needed to move down just a little bit, but not too bad of a weld. At least the start was pretty good. This is evidence of some gas. They lost some gas there. They probably picked it up too high there, and the bubbling is probably for some lack of gas, or it could have been some dirty weld. This one's pretty close as well, fairly consistent. It just needs to go down a little bit. It's just a little bit too high on the top piece of metal there. So then we get into some, this one has some good spots, some good potential to it, I guess is a good word. They melted something to it a little bit, but overall, I let them do. You get to do both sides, the top and the bottom, and I grade the best one off of those. This one, they just need a lot more practice. Might have been having a rough day there. This probably would not hold if I tried to break it. This one here is just a little bit on the wrong side again. It needs to get moved down so it bridges both pieces. I imagine I could break this if I tried. It's kind of like that on both sides. So moving on, this one definitely didn't have the gas on. You can see all the bubbliness, porosity they call that. So that one definitely did not have the gas on. This side's better, didn't quite finish it. I'm not looking to have the weld go, it doesn't have to go completely across, but we want to get pretty darn close. So my goal was have them do a 3-inch weld on this piece. So looking at these, needs a lot more practice. The start and stops are kind of rough on this one, so it needs quite a bit more practice. Here's another one that has the gas was not on probably, or maybe some really dirty metal on a couple of these too. This spot here is starting to make some progress. They just had it a little bit in the wrong position. So a lot of these, you're seeing a common problem here where they're not welding across the 2 pieces. They're riding on the top piece of metal. So this one's a little bit better here. It rides on the top, but then it does hit the bottom, just doesn't roll around as well. So you can just kind of see where we're at with some of these. This one's really built up, not quite as consistent. And this one's a lot more consistent. It still needs to roll down a little bit. This side is probably a little better, actually. I kind of like this side better, and it can move down just a little bit more. So then we have this one here. You're probably seeing it now. You're starting to understand what I'm looking for. This one, and then this one. So this one has a little bit of potential. They're moving around a lot, so this one's kind of unique. I feel like they're moving around quite a bit on this one. And then this one here, it just kind of, just they don't get it. So basically, this would probably be the winner for this competition, or this assignment, if we were selecting one that I thought was the best. And they are doing quite a heavy weave, so they could even tighten that up a little bit more if they want to. So I don't have a big preference on necessarily the size of the weave. It could be for this level of welder. We could go with either of these, and these are both looking pretty good. The position was just a little bit better on these ones. So I just brought out the top three again, just to revisit those, and we'll go from there. So one of the problems I'm seeing mostly is where they're positioning the weld. It looks like they're having some difficulty with maybe some metal that needs cleaned a little bit on a couple of them. A couple of them are missing the gas, and I don't know, that's about it. So there was an assessment of some lap welds.